Hey guys, my name's Nova, this is Film Express, and today we're going to be talking about Andrew Dominik's Blonde. Now, Andrew Dominik's Blonde is probably one of the most controversial hot topics right now. Now, this film has been honestly one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Andrew Dominik has made some of the greatest films I've ever seen. Assassination of Jesse James is such a masterpiece. So needless to say, I was very excited for this film. There was a lot of hype going into this. Now, everyone knew that this movie was going to be brutal. Like, there was a lot of talk that this was an excessive, exploitative film that was going to be NC-17. A lot of studios wouldn't pick this up. And then it had to go to Netflix. And even Netflix had a lot of trouble with Dominik on this one. You know, Dominik approached this movie with a lot of cockiness. Like, he's been out here saying on social media that this is one of the greatest films of all time. Like, he said this about his own movie, so you know there's some pretentiousness, some pompousness going on, a lot of cockiness. But I mean, this is the guy who made Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, one of the greatest films of all time, hands down. Killing Them Softly is like an underrated masterpiece of a film as well. This guy can make really, really good films, so I was super hyped to see what he's going to bring to the table on this one. Ana de Armas is playing Marilyn Monroe in Blonde, and this was another controversial pick because we saw the trailers and she still has a bit of a Cuban accent. She brings her A game to this one. Now, unfortunately, this film is problematic. Like, there is so much wrong with this movie. I hate to say it because I was super excited for this. I'm very disappointed in this film. I'm very disappointed in Andrew Dominik for the way he approached this film. Unfortunately, like, I wanted to defend it so much, but it's so perversely exploitative, and it exploits Marilyn Monroe's legacy. It does not let her rest in peace. It not only exploits her, but it exploits like women, and it puts like feminism like 10 steps back. Ana de Armas is letting Dominik and the studio like exploit her in this film as well, which is like the ultimate irony. This film is morally corrupt in every way. There's like absolutely no good intention to bring honor to or tribute to the legacy of Marilyn Monroe or to paint her in a good way. It's very interesting. This film focuses on, Norma Jean, the person behind Marilyn Monroe, and the many masks she has to wear to bring this character to life, and all the abuse and the pain that she had to go through as well. It's kind of crazy to see that side of Marilyn Monroe being portrayed, but I don't really think this was a necessary biopic. Like, nobody really needed to see all of this, because if you really break down, like, this film is just 3 hours of abuse and gaslighting and men just being trash and sexualizing her and putting her through the worst possible things any man could put a woman through. When you think about it, a lot of that is just derivative. Nobody needs to see that, and it doesn't further anybody's understanding of Marilyn Monroe's life that hasn't been done before. It's just really unfortunate that Dominik chose to do this. In some ways, it almost feels like some odd kink fulfillment. Like, he just really wanted to see Marilyn Monroe going through these things and sexualized, and he made it happen for himself. And I really feel gross saying that, but that's almost what it feels like. Is any of it worth watching? I mean, there's some craft here. Like, there's some phenomenal cinematography, some great imagery. Ana de Armas' performance is arguably pretty good. Like, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think she really did a great job. Like, she couldn't ditch her Cuban accent at the end of the day, but some people really found a lot of value in her performance. I didn't get much out of this film other than some really cool cinematography, some interesting editing, a lot of aspect ratio shifts and interesting techniques, but a lot of disgusting cinematic choices and directorial choices that just didn't work. None of it made sense. A lot of weird choices. 80% of them super experimental, 90% of them are not working. Like, it's just so weird. I can't even stand behind a lot of the choices that Dominik's making in this film. There's like shots of inside Marilyn Monroe's vagina. There's a shot where like stars become semen. There's like a talking fetus shot. This super weird abortion sequence. This super weird threesome sequence that I'm sure he's very happy with himself, but it's gross, and there's just really no place for it right now. I feel really bad because that's like 3 hours. I could have probably done something really productive, and I sat through the whole thing just hoping it would offer me something, and it just never did, and I feel really bad about that. And I just wish I watched something else. Honestly, there's so many great films on my watch list that I could have watched. I gave Andrew Dominik a chance, and it's unfortunate to say that he used his position as a director to make something really vile, and it's so polarizing and alienating, and it's offending a lot of people. And there are some people who see a lot of value in this film. There are people who call this film a masterpiece, saying it's misunderstood, saying it's like comparable to, you know, Mulholland Drive or Fire Walks Within Me or something like that. And people say there's value in this film and it's an art house masterpiece that will be commended in 5-10 years time. I don't see it, and I don't personally value it like that. I think that it's just really unfortunate that Monroe's legacy was treated this way, and then the Armas was treated this way. I don't know. I was really hyped about this film. I ended up super disappointed. I'm kind of grossed out about this film. You know, it's thought-provoking to say the least. It's provocative. It's controversial. There's no doubt about it. But it's fully unnecessary. And it almost comes from a place of like somebody who had no respect for Marilyn Monroe's legacy. And there's an interview that Andrew Dominik put out where he really almost on some of the films in Marilyn Monroe's filmography. I just feel like he really had no respect for her as a person and really almost sexualized her himself, because that's really what comes across in this film. It really all came from place of the male gaze, unfortunately. It made things very perverse, and unfortunately I just can't get behind something like this. Like, is this something along the lines of like the Brown Bunny and like what happened with Chloe Sevigny? Yeah, Blonde is a mess of a film. Blonde is disgusting. Blonde is a perverse exploitation film, and I just can't believe that the person who made The Assassination of Jesse James made this. That blows my mind. It's a man who showed extreme patience and narrative payoffs and a beautiful understanding of like American culture, and for him to make something like this, which almost kind of like puts a legacy to shame and really puts a stain on something that's part of American culture and Hollywood's culture, you know, and Hollywood's history, because I don't think he really even had good intentions with this film. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, please. It'd be awesome to get more of you guys here on board with Film Express. We're definitely going to be dropping some more reviews. So yeah, what did you guys think of Blonde? Am I wrong? Or is this film a masterpiece, or is it really just a gross, perverse exploitation film? Because that's what I think it is. This film is super controversial, and we're going to have to see how this film ages with time, honestly. So yeah, please share your comments, share your thoughts. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm right, let me know. Because yeah, this movie is gonna get a lot of people talking. So let's talk about it. This is Nova from Film Express. Take care.